Do you have a turkey? That's actually a turkey. Those are the turkey legs. Pretty cool. And the key? Yeah. Some cool stuff. That Minecraft tools. Yeah. A lot of different variations. So what I'm working on is these capes. Now, so I am curious, how do people normally store their capes if you're like a reseller in this? Because I mean, if it's just your set, well, you're just going to put the cape on the minifig. I won't put any capes on the minifigs because you're opening up that box, and when I sell the minifig, I would sell it with the cape, and with the Mandalorians, I include the gun device on the end of it as well. But there are a lot of different capes, and even in here, it's got more and more capes. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put them in bags, and then I'll write down what the capes are for. Okay, their numbers. So I had like one here that had the capes from Cloud City, Betrayal of Cloud City at Cloud City. They had the Lando and Boba Fett's, and then there's like just a black cape in there. But these are new capes, and I don't want to put them on the minifigs, but I don't want to keep them with the minifigs, because if you remember, I keep the minifigs into these containers, and it would just take so much space. And capes like these here, this, I don't know what that's from. I'll have to look it up. It might be from the Cantina. I'm not sure, but so that's something I'm trying to work on. And it's crazy. I was actually finding some of the space figs, and I couldn't find the pink back space. Gosh, can you say it? Space pack on the back of it, the jetpack, and I was just like, oh, where is it at? But anyways, I did have them in another compartment, just not with those. Yeah, I went through a lot of those today. The Marvel stuff, trying to get that organized. So it's been pretty cool. I think everybody's really looking forward to the May the 4th and that promo. And I have to admit, it is really nice, but this is probably the first time I'm not so excited about it. I don't know why. I'm looking at the Jango Fett ship, and it's really nice. And I definitely want it. I'm just like, oh, I guess I like a unique gift with purchase on May the 4th. Last year's was kind of neat with the droid carrier. The previous year with the Death Star 2, at least it's unique, and it's that situation when you're getting into army building with a gift with purchase, it just throws me off, right, as a non-army builder. So and I'm like, if you're building an army and you have to get a set that you have to spend whatever $200 on to get, you're not going to do any massive army building. But then maybe you are, because a lot of people might be just buying their sets to get the Django Fets shipped, and they really don't care about the gift with purchase, so it's an easier way to get rid of it or sell it off. I don't know. Everyone has different agendas of what they do, why they do it. I heard one person talking about doing this build of a older set, and kind of like, well, I'll do a live feed of it to help get some money back. And so he's talking about getting like ad revenue. So I'm like, why does that matter if you want to build a set or not? I mean, if you need ad revenue to determine if you want to build a set, I guess I just don't understand. But I mean, bless you if you can actually make enough money off a video to pay for your product that you're purchasing to review. I mean, what a unique situation we live in today. But that's cool. Hey, I have I sold a TIE pilot fighter helmet. Actually, I still kept it up here. Still back in here, right? Yeah, I kept it back in there. So the guy's picking that up. Saturday. He's coming out Saturday to get that. Okay. Box is in really good shape. So he's picking that up Saturday. And technique pins and stuff. And when he picks it up Saturday, I sold it to him for $200 and just over $200 some dollars. Poor guy is literally driving an hour and a half to get here, and so we made an agreement, just to help cover the costs and gas, because I try to think, man, if that was me, it's not just an hour and a half of driving, but it's also your time on a Saturday. But if you're coming down into this area for other reasons, I'm not far from Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, stuff like that. So it's cool. But if I sell that set and then I take it, and the reason I'm not putting like I have 10 of them, it's because I don't want to sell 10 to nobody. I only want to sell one to a person, and at least that way I know they're pretty much going to be building it or add it to their collection, not to resell it. And again, that sticks with the principle of why I do what I'm doing. I hope that continues, and I can still offer reasonable pricing. The tricky part, I think, is if I run out of material to resell, then what am I doing? Am I actually going out and buying something from somebody else to try to resell it? And I'm not in that situation. Never have been yet. Now, you could say I'm buying it from a Lego to resell it, okay? But I'm saying not buying it from a corporate, Fortune 500 company, or yes, a private company like Lego. So, but I'm not buying it from something like that. And that way, retail pricing is what it is. You can upcharge from that, but you're not buying it, for example, $300 for something that costs maybe $65, $70. Because if you buy for $300, then you're trying to make a profit off it. So you're trying to say, hey, I can't sell for less than $350. You sell it somebody 350, that person wants to do the same, and they're asking 400. It's the same reason why someone buys a freaking house. Literally 6 years ago, that was $120,000, sold for $250,000 about 3 years later, and now they're asking $450,000 because everybody wants to make a profit, and nobody wants to take a loss, nor will you be able to stay in the game or probably make ends meet if you keep taking a loss. So it's ironic. I understand that, but it's like, what are your profit margins? I am telling you, I am trying to stay within, if I can do a 10-15% a year, or 20, 25, I'm really happy. Now remember, it's 25% minus all your other costs, your labor, everything else. So yeah, you can make more on certain items and less on others, but the journey a lot of these items have taken, I know it's probably at a loss, but then I win in the long term of the benefits. I have my daughter now, and she's really excelling at school, working on a lot of her stuff, and she's the big reason why we're doing this. It's a great adventure that she has helped start with the business here. I'll call it business, but that's the journey of it. So I don't want to get too, ouch, darn it. Oh, owie, owie. Damn, that hurt. Oh, just stubbed my freaking toe. Oh, damn. Oh, it really freaking hurt. I mean, why don't they just put radiuses on every freaking chair there is? Just knowing that, someone's probably going to stub their toe in the chair on the leg sooner or later. Why don't you just simply put that in? So, there I am, by the way. That's me. I'm not hiding from nobody, but I stopped finishing on this process here because I told you, I mentioned in earlier videos that I'm going to build this out, but in a wood construction instead of using all the aluminum. Too much weight. Might last longer being aluminum slides like that, but right now, no. So, what else? Be nice to get some trays. That's holding me up big time, but have other alternatives to keep organizing stuff like these capes and get that situated. But again, I'm keeping all my capes in those containers out there, so I'll have probably 2 drawers of them, and whenever there's a minifig, it has remarks with cape, and I need to put in there what cape, in the remark, cape number, whatever, so I know to go look for that. It does say, like here, if it was for SW1088 or SW1053, it is. I would be able to find the cape relatively without much complications, but either way, it's not as, I do have some that actually the capes are right next to them, to the minifigs, but that's only if I had a few. When you have multiples, 5, 10, 20, it takes up too much space. Some of those compartment things only take 18. These are 32. The departments, but some were 18. Most of them are 18. All the ones over there, up there, they're all 18. So get them filled in. And by the way, if you ever wondered, all those up in there, they're it's really not what's in those. You might think it looks like it, but I actually put other stuff in them. I just was using the boxes. What's in them, I do not know. So everything else is pretty cool. Got prom this weekend from my daughter, and besides prom, man, I ordered some shoes, and we have not received the shoes. The people said they delivered the shoes. I'm like, sure you did. Well, they probably did. I don't think somebody's like putting a box down and then like trying to snag it and say, hey, I'm going to keep the package. But we had ordered from them before, and they actually have on the package, their brand. So people know their shoes. They're not like high-end dollar shoes, but they are hundreds of dollars. And I guess there's sometimes I kind of wonder, it's like if you put a thing with Nike on a box or Apple, they kind of know what's in it, and it could be something really cheap, but they know, well, at least it's that, and they might just want to take it, or vice versa. I put trash out a lot in front of my door, and I know more than once a neighbor, he's going to go to the we have an area where we take the trash, and I just would say, hey, if you're heading out there, can I get you to take the trash? And he'll be like, yeah, I'll be right back. And I would do the same for them. And I sat there, I said, what happens if when he came and took my trash, they had delivered this box and threw it by the trash and he threw it away? So I was thinking about that, but it's like, I don't know. And I don't really worry about it. It's just, I'm like, would they just send me a pair of shoes and they want to go into it for a week? And then they're like, well, we refund you. And I'm like, dude, I don't want the refund. I just want the shoes. So can you just send out the shoes? But could you have done it a week ago? And I would have had them. And everyone's a little bit more happier instead of trying to go through this like it's a gold bar or, the Hope Diamond. It's ridiculous. It's, I mean, to me, I need to look into this. Putting in QR, what do they call it? RFIDs into some packages, because if you send a item that, let's say, is pretty expensive, over, let's say, $200, $500, I don't know. Maybe I need to find out what would it cost to have an RFID into a package. What's that, limit of being reasonable to have that? I have sold a couple items, I think over $250, $300. They got the items. There's tracking. I think the insurance is only $100, but it's kind of like blackjack. You're only like putting 50% odds out there if the dealer has blackjack. And I kind of am the same way with, if I'm shipping something, I'm not going to try to get insurance for what it costs or even to replace it, because you might ship out 20, 30, 40 before they ever lost a package. That's a pretty bad percentage on their part, but that's my mindset. So my gosh, I hope I didn't jinx myself. So hey, I sold a Pokemon card. This is kind of crazy because I know you're going to ask, what Pokemon card did I sell, but I actually sold a couple packs I found. I opened up a box, through my storage and stuff, and it had some packs from about 7 years old. Not terribly old, but they were still sealed packs. And I remember seeing them in there before. I don't even know where they came from, but I was opening them up, and I opened up this thing, and there was a card in there. I don't know what these things are called, but it was all shiny, pretty, and I turned around and Googled, searched it, and it said something like $50. I was like, damn. And I saw some others. I just simply put it up on eBay and just said, here, there's a pack. I think there was like 50 cards in the packs total. I don't know why I sold it for $45. I thought it was cool for somebody that isn't, going to these things where they have to pay, 3 times the price. It's a freaking piece of cardboard, and it should be fun for these people to do. And he was mentioning that he had a daughter that was wanting that particular card. So it was a perfect scenario for her to get some other cards. And I've seen these guys at these events. They'll give some cards out to some kids, kind of, help them out, get them started, have fun with it. I used to collect NASCAR diecast. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Obviously, they're not worth anything, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the hustle of the collecting of the series, and you get into it. It's a life to enjoy and live, and do what kind of makes fun for you. And for me, currently, it's Lego. So it brings up a lot of different facets. I guess there's so many different types of things to get into. I ran into this one here. I don't know what that is. Oh, sorry, this one here. And what is it? It's kind of a weird shield piece, but yeah. So I found him and some of these old horses in these packs, and I don't know where they came from. And I'm thinking, when I was in Europe, maybe this camera just keeps like going out of focus. Maybe when I was in Europe, they had simply maybe I bought them there. I'm not sure where they come from. And it's weird. I'm marking them in my inventory as new because they're in these sealed packs. I have a one of these here. So I kind of like will try to look into a lot of these minifigs and stuff to see if there's like any kind of a crack in them. And I haven't found any. So that might be bad that I'm not looking right. But it might be good that there's just no cracks in them. And hopefully I need to put remarks in there to let people know, hey, even though it's like the cheapest you can find it on the market price-wise, if you find something like that where you think it's just, you find a scratch on there that I didn't see, I mean, I'll drop it down to whatever the used price is. I'm just telling you, I don't see it. But I wonder, how can it be new? Even, I mean, you open up some of them old sets, maybe they've already been opened. People put stuff back in. It's a hard thing to understand. That's why I said with these, keep them sealed and in the box. That way we know it's still new. most likely. But even with the minifigs, a lot of times, like here, I'll put the head on just verily, but that helps me to know that I have all the parts of the minifig in that, you know, bag that you're going to ship out. Because if you just have a bunch of loose pieces, uh, first you have, 5 loose pieces or so in a bag that they're going to scratch each other, possibly. Um, but if you have them kind of like assembled somewhat, it's less likely to scratch up, and you're able to verify clearly by, oh yeah, all the parts are there. So, alrighty. Sorry if I'm shooting the breeze too long, but everybody enjoy the weekend coming up. Next weekend, wow, May the 4th. Let's see how it turns out. I don't know if I'll get anything. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, it's like, what do? You miss out on the gift with purchase. Big whoopee, right? You can buy the Jenga Fett for probably 25-30% off later. Unless if you're going to be building it. So for somebody like me, I'm not going to be building it, and I don't have any space for it. So I will miss out. But what I miss out doesn't really bother me too much. So, alrighty. But out of focus. Bye bye.